Alright, so our book is Frankenstein, and I put for my theme or proposal, the danger of the danger of leaving a monster alone, and how Victor and the creature both suffer from isolation, and it leads to their downfall. And yeah, that's basically like my theme.
I love that. You know mine, right? Frankenstein creates life, but it doesn't care for it. So like I have a question of why would someone create life if he's not gonna take care of it? And I know he was like scared in the start when he created this creature, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think you should abandon it knowing the consequences that can come with it.
I don't think he knew the consequences. I think he just created the creature.
I thought he knew the consequences.
I thought he knew it
I thought he knew the consequences. He just don't want to deal with it.
I think he was scared of the failure for sure.
But he didn't fail.
You know
He
what?
did
It's
it.
not-
He just didn't know what to do.
it. I mean,
But like in a way, you know.
We're actually
how
doing
we
our project right now.
We're in a podcast right now.
Seems
So.
coming. He's on his way.
Yeah, you're good. Sir.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Anyways.
I don't think he knew all the consequences. I think he just did it just for the. I think he did it for the fun of the game, knowing because he was really intrigued into
He
science
was
and
into
stuff like
science,
that.
yeah.
And so when he figured it out, he was like, "Damn!" Like I think he realized that he was like hella smart and stuff like that. But I think once the monster actually came and he realized what he has to do to like, keep it a bit like alive and like teach it, he was like, "Hell no!" He didn't want to do all that.
Yeah, it got out of control and it just led to harmful
I still feel like though, it was like
outcomes.
he was more selfish though.
Selfish.
He was selfish with it because he was focusing on himself, how he feels, but not how the creature feels. You know what I'm saying? He's left. I still think you should have some responsibility over it if you're gonna put all this time into like science and like studying.
Yeah.
To create this creature. But
Well, speaking of responsibility, for my thesis, I asked, do you think Victor Frankenstein was the true monster of the novel? And he should have taken full responsibility of all the deaths? Or do you think the creature was the actual monster itself?
I don't know. but
Because as he was the creator of the creation, the creation did do the killing, but
Yeah.
shouldn't the creator also take responsibility for
I
it?
think more of it is the creation, though.
That should be blamed for all the deaths?
Yeah.
I think it's like 50-50.
Yeah.
Because I like.
Because Victor didn't know
At the end of
that
the day-
all of that would happen. But
Yeah, nothing. It's like more leaning to the creature. Well, it's the creature's fault, but like, he wasn't born evil. You know what I mean? Like, he became violent because
go right there.
of rejection, and like he became lonely. 'Cause, you know, he got left. So I don't know if it was all on the creature or all on Frankenstein.
I have a question for you guys. What do you guys think was a symbol of the whole book that kind of represented it, from the start to finish? Like, for instance, that last book we read, what was it called? At the start of the year?
The Awakening?
The Awakening, yeah. It was about the ocean and stuff like that and how it started and ended
the
it.
birds.
So what do you guys think was the symbol from the start of this book towards the end of this book?
Oh, well, we all knew it started with the Walden's letters to his sister. So started with that, then it ended with that. So, I mean, there wasn't really any symbols of that. I mean, you could say the Arctic and the ship, but otherwise there was fire.
Oh yeah, there was the fire.
Fire showed that there was life, and that even though it keeps you warm and joyful, if you get too close, it can be harmful.
I like that.
And with the monster, he struggled with loneliness, and so if you use loneliness and fire, if you get too close to the fire, I guess what?
Yeah, you get harmed.
Yeah.
Like,
You get
sometimes-
harmed,
Yeah, sometimes. You
and the longer the fire
just
lasts,
get-
the more it
Yeah.
expands.
But you can't get too close to it, and you can't be too far to it. So
Yeah, so I feel like the fire was symbolizing the monster, and he was getting too close to the fire, with also the sense of his loneliness, because the fire was keeping him company, as in the monster was like keeping him company throughout. But he kept getting closer with the monster, kept getting closer with the fire, and he kept playing with fire, and eventually it expanded too far, so he couldn't control it anymore.
Yeah.
And I feel like that brings up my point of like he made him start having a god complex almost. And I have a specific quote that I came up with for this, and it's a new species would bless me as its creator and source. Many happy and excellent natures would owe their being to me. So like he isn't thinking about the creature's welfare anymore. Again, like he's not really thinking about how the fire is gonna do. He's more thinking about like, damn, like I have this with me now. Like I have this blessing of this fire, or the blessing of this creature that's with me, and all this glory is coming to me now because I can control it. It's mine, you know. Just thought that was pretty cool to add.
Matt, what's a question?
Huh?
What's a question that you have? Question or
Your theme, purpose.
Theme, purpose.
That you wrote right here.
I could go.
you go.
Go for it.
I feel like he also started abandoning his own morality, and like to a point where like he was just trying to search for like his discovery and trying to find something new and like create something, but it ultimately like the motive had changed. He abandoned like morals in society and how they would treat like say like a dog or a cat or anything like that, or anything, you know, that society places value on, that has like a brain or something that's alive. And he abandoned all that for the idea of like transforming his creation into something great, but instead he turned it into like an abomination. And again, I have another quote. He writes, "I had gazed on him while unfinished. He was ugly, but when those muscles and joints were rendered capable of motion, it became a thing such as even Dante could not have perceived." Dante is like, I feel like it's like a symbol of, you know, hell. And things from hell are said to be ugly, you know. And I feel like this quote has shown that his character of Victor had become really shallow, because he loved the idea of his work, like the idea of his creation and his laboratory, all this discovery. But then the reality eventually starts hitting him, and he's filled with like regret inside, but at the same time the glory is still in his head. Like he still has all that ego that the regret can't even get through his pride, you know. But I feel like that's in like an internal debate he's always having with himself, that's inside of his own head.
I feel like, speaking of the ego and selfishness of Victor, it's like first he abandons the creature. First he abandons the creature, and then when the creature becomes all lonely, asks for a companion.
Tries to make up for it.
Yeah, tries to make up for it. Victor makes the companion, female companion, but then before it's finished, Victor kills the companion, right? And that causes the monster to go murder. Like, I'm pretty sure Victor's wife off of that.
Yep, Elizabeth died.
Yeah.
See, but if you're in Victor's spot right there, would you still continue to create the female monster, or would you have done the same thing?
I would.
Because I feel like that was a major turning point of the story. It could have gone two ways. Really.
I think me personally, I would have continued to create the
Probably would've
monster
been
just
better.
so, because then there would be two of them, obviously male and female. So, the connection to both of them, I think, would be deeper, and hopefully maybe they would get both an understanding. Because if they're, I want to say, let's say one is killing, and then let's say the other one has really like no mindset or didn't really learn anything, and they saw obviously killing was, she might see it as good or bad depending on that. But let's say, for instance, she thought of it as a bad thing, and then she could have possibly changed Frankenstein himself, and it could have made them actual human beings with feelings and better decision making, obviously.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you're 100% right. Because I know the monster was like studying human behavior.
Yeah.
Throughout, like learned language and got emotions. That's why he started feeling lonely and he wanted that companion. So I feel like having that other person by his side would have definitely changed his attitude. At least I think they would have grew a little bit. You know, he's not going to be going to killing Victor's wife. I think the whole plot would have changed.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. What do you think about that, since you've been in a 4-year relationship? I feel like you probably understand it the most.
Yeah, I feel like you can't have too much ego, you know? Like, once you have too much ego and pride, like, that's when stuff starts going down, you know? And I think that's why it affected, like, the creators, you know what I'm saying?
Do you think I have a question. Do you think you learn more about yourself and about how emotions and stuff work from a relationship that you maybe could relate to Frankenstein if he did end up having another monster in his life, I guess you said?
So you're pretty much saying if Frankenstein didn't have that monster, you think you'd learn more about yourself? about like loneliness.
Yeah,
I think
'cause-
having that companionship makes you happier. In simple terms.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say
Anything
so.
make you happier.
Yeah.
I think
Also,
Frankenstein
like-
would have been more happy, or the monster would have been more happy.
No,
with
yeah,
that
for sure, for
companionship.
sure.
And, but
Definitely.
100%.
I have something else to bring up though. So I feel like the physical space that Victor had chosen for his like creation, like in his laboratory, I feel like that had all been factors to why like he kept going so crazy with the monster and kept going and going. Because a quote that I saved was that I passed the night in a solitary chamber, or rather cell, at the top of the house, separated from all the other apartments. So the word that he used was cell. It implies like he was in a prison this whole time, like a prison that he made himself, and he made himself like hidden from society almost. And I feel like that that idea of being hidden from society was he was trying to encompass that onto his own creation, because he was trying to make his creation like maybe, well, in my idea, like a different form of himself, just like an extension almost. So when he was separating himself, he was also like not directly, like indirectly depriving the monster of having a mate, because he was, you know, separating himself, and he was separating the monster from having a mate, because it's all in his head, you know. He's like, the monster has to be a recreation of himself. It's like
good point. That's
what
a
I
good point.
thought, yeah.
That's a great point. I love that.
It's like kind of a cause and effect.
Exactly.
Cause is he wanted to create something new, so he isolated himself from his family and friends. And then the effect was he created a monster that was kind of the same as him. So,
I know. I actually love that about the book. The fact that he created a monster and it didn't teach anything, or Victor didn't really teach the monster obviously how to function in its feelings and stuff like that. And as soon as possible,
He was on his own.
Yeah, he was on his own, and the creature, or Victor, since he created that creature, the creature had almost the exact same feelings as Victor, even though he never really taught him what feelings were. And I think that might have been possibly why the creature kind of turned out like him, was because he created the creature himself, and at the end of the day, their traits and characteristics kind of were similar.
I also think there was a lot of causes and effects in this book. Like what we already brought up was him not creating the other female monster. The effect was Henry died, his best friend died, and then his wife died. And then let's see, there's other causes effects, like the end of the story when he tried getting revenge on the monster, so he went to the Arctic and then had that chase on the ice, and that led to actually his death. And then the effect was, since the monster realized that he has no other person that knew him or companionship, that ultimately led to the monster's death too. So that was another change in the story that I saw.
Yeah.
I think I've summed up most of what I wanted to say.
I think I did too.
I think I need to get one
We
more
think it was a good book.
standard.
Go for it.
It was a good book. I wanted to talk again about the abandonment though.
Go for it.
So I have some quotes that like it pinpointed the exact moment that the bond of Victor and his creation is completely severed. So I have a quote about his like immediate rejection of the monster. He says, "Now that I had finished, the beauty of the dream vanished, and breathless horror, disgust filled my heart." So I'm saying this because this is the like abandoning morality that I'd originally brought up at the start. The second like his work is done, he stops being like a father figure to the monster and starts acting like he starts playing victim almost, and like he stops really caring about it. You know, he tries to just, you know, like he doesn't really want to teach it anything or things like that. And then one more is like, to expand on this thought, is when he like ran away. He says, "I escaped and rushed down the stairs. I took refuge in the courtyard where I remained the rest of the night." So this is literally him abandoning his own creation. Like he left a newborn sentient, like Frankenstein. He left it alone. It's like leaving a baby who doesn't know anything alone. And like just because like he couldn't handle the look of it, it's like a mother of her own kid just leaving the baby because she thought it was ugly, you know. And that's It's funny, but it's like he literally abandoned his own kid, almost like an extension of himself. Like he's trying to hide what the entire book was about. He's trying to just leave it behind.
Do y'all think people are like evil, or like do events lead to them being evil?
I think that was more curiosity. He just wanted to create something new, and he just didn't know.
I think it was led to evil. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think it was
Really?
created. I think it was led
It was
because
created evil. Led to evil. But
Yeah.
just getting abandoned.
yeah.
Alright.
I think that's a wrap.